So it never really ends.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It can be tough, but it's crazy. When I had my name changed, a very nice probate judge. I did it in the probate court of Norwich. Very nice woman, and she said to me, she said, "Oh, you know, a year from now you'll still be changing stuff." And it's like, well, okay, several years later, I'll still be changing stuff. But she was so right about that. It takes forever.
When I changed mine, I was talking to the probate judge, and he said, "Well, most of the girls that come through here go up to Montreal for their surgery." And I'm thinking, I'm not the only one. Because I'm from a small town and the probate court isn't that big.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's funny.
One of those old buildings with 6 rooms.
Yep. Well, it's not quite that bad, but...
Yeah, I was surprised when I did it a few years ago, and no one even batted an eye.
No?
And this was in, you know, small borough in southeast Connecticut, and they'd seen it before. It's like old hat to them.
Yeah. We're not that uncommon. It's just that an awful. Well,
it's just that we hide.
We hide, and a lot of we don't hide. Those of us that are here at this, those of us that are here, right?
Not anymore.
That's right. Those of us here at this table don't hide, but an awful lot of us in the broader community do.
And certainly up until the point where you walk into the probate court to submit your paperwork, I think it's probably a common experience that most of us figure. Of course there are people around. You know, there's 4 others like me in the entire state, and it turns out there's probably 4 others like you in your town.
Yes.
Right. And, I mean, it's understandable why people hide. I mean, we have been through we've suffered a lot of violence in the past, so.
Yeah. It's a tough thing. It's a tough road. Personally, I didn't go through a lot of, I didn't go through any awful experiences like some people do. I think I was truly blessed in that, and I'm grateful for that. But some people have gone through some really tough times.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for having a good station in life, but there's also something to be said for planning and patience.
Yes.
And not trying to rush through things before their time.
Right. And one of the things about Connecticut is we're one of the few states that you can change the gender marker on your license just by having a letter from your psychiatrist saying that you're going full-time. So we're lucky here in Massachusetts you can't get your gender marker changed until you have surgery. And because of the medical rules that govern our transition, we have to live a year full-time. And if you get stopped by the police and the gender marker does not match the way you're presenting, it can become a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's a sticking issue, I mean, because there are certain conditions that would seem, that I would think would counterindicate surgery, and person is transsexual, but just for whatever reason, they can't get the surgery.
That's right.
Or don't want it.
But their brains are, if it's a male to female transsexual, their brains are female. I mean, there's no reason to prevent them from getting that marker.
Right. And the surgery is expensive. It could be up to $50,000 or more.
And there are serious health risks associated
with it. That's right. If you have any medical problems, you might not have it. And so states like Massachusetts, where you can't get your gender marker changed, it becomes a problem all your life. And on the federal government, hopefully Obama will go and change those rules for Social Security. Because now if I go to a job and they do a background check, Social Security will come up as saying male, but my driver's license says female. So that it becomes a mismatch, and they send out a letter to your employers.
They out you.
That's right.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
I think it has gotten better with law enforcement and public offices and such. There's still the possibility for a hard time. But I remember one of the things I had read were, I guess what I would say, common sense instructions. I think in the state of Connecticut there was some kind of ruling that said that if you are upfront and honest with the cop that this is me,
That's right.
And I'm not trying to deceive you. I'm not trying to hide my identity. That as long as you're not in disguise to avoid the police,
Right.
that being dressed in the having the appearance of an opposite gender should not be held against you.
That's right. There's actually
Whether or not when you get pulled over on the side of the road it is a different story.
there's actually a law in the state of Connecticut that says the police cannot disclose the way you're dressed because of and I think it was New Haven, a high school principal was stopped and they said that he was dressed as a woman, and because of that they passed a law saying that the police cannot disclose that information.
Wow.
So Father Russ, when he's in his robes driving somewhere, not that he'd get pulled over for cardboard in the road or something.
Good evening, NLcTrans. You're on the air.
Yes, hi, this is Cassie from Florida.
Hi,
Hi,
Cassie.
Cassie.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Good.
Good. I had a question about, what was it? About the transgender group over here, since our state's so racist. What can I do to make the community better here or something like that?
Yeah.
So how do you get started being an advocate and a lobbyist in her own state?
What state is that?
Florida.
Florida.
She's in Florida.
Florida. I'm in Florida.
I would say you probably maybe want to do it on the internet first. There's a lot of support groups on the internet, and just put out a message that you want to form one in your part of the state. And maybe if there's any community centers for GLBT groups, that you might want to put notices on the bulletin board to tell them that you want to form a support group. What you have to do is get, by word of mouth, get it out there that you have a group. And also, like I said, if you have a website or a MySpace or a Facebook page or something, it will help to spread the word. Actually, the people you should talk to about starting a group is here,
And
because you actually started one.
Right.
Yeah. And also, I heard that there's a 16-year-old transgender girl that lives down this way. She got killed just by somebody looking at her.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, that was one of the three.
Yeah, that's such a shame.
Right.
But yeah, so we're looking to maybe have the T.a.L.L South. So yeah, we certainly will talk to you about that.
We have Cassie's contact info, right?
Right,
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
And I'm
We
working
do.
on that Yahoo group. It's just been a crazy week so far this week,
Yeah.
but things should level out
Yes,
They never do.
eventually.
I know they never do. But yes, certainly we would like. We want to be worldwide. We want to take over this planet. You know? We'll be everywhere. But I'm kidding, of course. But well, maybe not. But yeah, we certainly can do like a T.a.L South and
The Southern Bells.
Southern Bells.
If Jay did T.a.L and VT, we can do T.a.L and FL.
That's right. We're starting T.a.L North. Jay was one of our members, who's a sweetheart, and we love Jay very much. He is starting sort of a branch of our organization up in Burlington, I believe. So we're going to spread out all over the place. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's it's a good thing, and we're just going to try to keep growing and growing and growing. And
I know, just if I didn't live in such a racist state, then
yeah,
do
it's a
better.
shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. Especially since Florida just voted on the Marriage Act.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I know we kind of lost some ground down there.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate. But hopefully this will turn around.
The national trend.
I'm hoping. I maybe call me a cockeyed optimist, but I am always hopeful for people in general. I think that there is sort of a intrinsic goodness in most people, and I think eventually they come around.
Oh, yes, there is.
So I try to try to believe in people and give them a chance to do the right thing.